succeed this disastrous Condem coalition. But I'm worried that under the current leadership and with the current direction of the Labour Party, there's a danger that that might not happen. And that would be a disaster for working people in the country. So I hope that they learn the lessons from tonight.
But you've made the job of defeating the Tories much more difficult for Mr Miliband here.
Well, that's because Mr Miliband is not acting as a Labour leader. And the so-called heavyweights that he sent up here to fight this election are not Labour leaders by any stretch of the imagination. Neither the policies that they preach are Labour, nor is their background or their history or their approach. So Labour needs to be Labour again if it's going to unite the British people to fundamentally change British politics.
What are the battles you're going to fight when you get back to Westminster?
Well, I'll be fighting first and foremost on behalf of the people of Bradford, a place where there's mass unemployment, mass youth unemployment, where the city centre is a disaster area full of holes and crumbling, tumbling, iconic buildings. But of course, I'll also be raising my voice on national issues, on the economy, on society generally, and of course on international issues, to try and stop the disastrous drift to war with Iran, added to the wars we're already in, which have cost us so much blood and so much treasure.
Do you think you can form any alliances in Parliament with, say, the one Green MP and perhaps some anti-war Labour MPs on the left of the party and perhaps even some Liberal Democrats?
Well, I think it's quite a fluid political situation now. I think that the longevity of the Lib Dem Tory coalition must be in question. And I think that the Green MP, Caroline Lucas, is an outstanding figure. I'll certainly be working with her. As to the Labour Party, of course, I have my friends in the Labour Party and also, of course, my enemies. But my enemies have turned out to be wrong. I told Mr Blair that he would rue the day that he expelled me. And so he has, not once, but twice.
Do you think Mr Blair cares that you're back in Parliament?
I suspect he does. But his acolytes, who are still near the top of the Labour Party, and are even now, this evening, no doubt, plotting to get rid of the Labour leader, Miliband, perhaps to replace him by another Labour leader called Miliband, those acolytes will be very, very uncomfortable seeing me back in the House of Commons and hearing my voice again.
Now, I know you've just won a great victory, but you sound bitter and personal, as though you've got this grudge against the Labour Party.
No, on the contrary, you were accusing me earlier of worrying about the Labour Party. And I do worry about it because I care about the ordinary people of this country who need a Labour Party. Every country needs a Labour Party, one that will stand up for working people, one that will stand up for the poor, the marginalised, the discriminated against. Britain just doesn't have one. That's why we had to reinvent it.
George Galloway, thank you very much. I'll let you celebrate with your supporters.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, George Galloway, newly elected Labour Respect MP.